Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you happen to be watching this. Welcome back to another video on the channel, and it's the beginning of August, so you know what time it is. That's right, it's league table prediction time. We've been thoroughly spoilt this summer by the World Cup, and it's only been 3 weeks since that finished, and the football season is here this weekend coming up. So I have been preparing long and hard for this and done my predictions for League 2, League 1, Championship and the English Premier League. So if you want to see more of these type of videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button. But we're going to be kicking today off with League 2. I'm not going to mess around with it. Let's just get into the bottom 9 of the table. Here it is. So before I go into my predictions and what I've put on the left hand side here, what I want you guys to do is leave me down in the comment section if you support a football team in League 2 and where you think your team will finish, and then what you think of my predictions, so don't go too hard on me. I've got all of my notes here, I'm ready and raring to go as to who I have predicted to finish where. But the bottom 2 places I have gone for Macclesfield and Forest Green in terms of who is going to end up getting relegated. I haven't seen enough from Macclesfield, in all honesty. I don't really rate them a massive amount. I haven't seen in terms of the signings that have been making that they're going to really push and make too much of a claim from this division. I think Tranmere, on the other hand, are really going to embrace the league and survive. I can't see it happening for Macclesfield. However, I was really wrong about Forest Green last season when they got promoted. So Macclesfield fans, don't really worry too much about it. It's just what I believe. Forest Green are the other team to get relegated. I put them down there. Simple reason being that I think they went on a very good run of form last year to keep themselves in this division. I just don't really see that it's going to be happening again. I don't think they're going to have enough about them. I think they might well struggle this time around. So I've got them getting relegated. And then the 2 places above that, I've gone for Morecambe and Yeovil. Morecambe, again, they just haven't got the financial resources to be able to push on any further than what they are. I think if they survive, they'll probably be happy with that, although Morecambe fans may well disagree. Yeovil, I mean, they're a team that are close to my heart. I really do like Yeovil for reasons I'll go into in another point. And I'm worried about them. They are dangerously close to getting relegated at some point. And I don't want it to be this year, but the bookies have got them down as one of the favourites to go down, and I can understand why. I'm really concerned about the club. I really am concerned about them. So, you know, maybe this could be their year. Who knows? But I don't know. I think I kind of went on a bit of a personal thing with that, not putting them down as relegation, but they'll probably be there or thereabouts. And then I've got Cheltenham and Tranmere in 20th and 19th place. Cheltenham, I think, losing Mohamed Issa is a massive blow. The guy was just absolute class last year. I can't see where they're going to replace those goals from. And they're a team that are going to be there or thereabouts in terms of relegation, but I think they'll be all right. And then Tranmere, again, I think they are just about... I've seen some of the signings they've made. They look decent. I think they're going to embrace this league, being back in League 2 for the first time in quite a while. And I think that they'll do all right and they will just about survive. And then the final 3 places, I've got Stevenage, Crawley and Grimsby. Stevenage, I don't really see what the club's doing. I don't see what exactly they're aiming for. Stevenage fans, let me know whether or not my 18th prediction is too low. I think there are better teams in this division than you. That's the only reason why I've got you down that far. You know, any sort of team from about 18th to kind of 12th are in that position that they're good enough for. They're not good enough to get relegated, but they're not good enough to really put any, you know, kind of a big push for the playoffs. So I've got Stevenage down there. Crawley, only reason is Harry Kewell. You're up that high. If you didn't have him, you'd be right down there, even lower than that. Keep a hold of him for as long as you possibly can. Grimsby, again, well done on staying up last year. I don't really see what you're doing. I don't really understand what the club is really aiming for. Again, not really been impressed by any of the signings that you've really been making, so that's why I've got you down that far. I'm sure fans of all these clubs will let me know in the comment section why I'm wrong. Please do. I want to hear from you. I will reply to every single comment. And now we move on to 8th to 15th place. So the teams who are just going to be missing out on the playoffs in League 2. And we're kicking things off with Exeter and Carlisle. two teams who are going to be massively at a disadvantage because of their manager leaving. Paul Tisdale, it was a daft decision, in my opinion, to get rid of him. Maybe he outstayed his welcome. He was at the club for too long. Maybe it's kind of like an Arsene Wenger thing with Arsenal. You know, maybe outstaying his welcome. But for me, Paul Tisdale is a fantastic manager, and to lose him is going to be a big blow. I want to see how your players are going to react to that decision of him, you know, being allowed to leave. It'll be really interesting season to see what is going on with Exeter. But I think, to be honest, as long as you can produce a couple more youngsters and keep the club going, I think really that's the main thing for this year. We've got Carlisle, again, without Keith Curle. I don't really see where the club's kind of moving on now to. They might flirt with the playoffs from now and then, but not really going to make too much of an impact. We've then got Crewe and Northampton. Crewe, I think, will have a slightly better season than last year. But again, relying to, you know, it's not a fault. But when you're relying so much on a youth system and you're not really signing anybody of real sort of experience, I think it can slightly go against you. But the club is run in the right way. So that is the main thing. So I think Crewe are going to do all right. Northampton, I think until they get their finances and everything sorted off the pitch, there are a couple of players that they have signed. Junior Moray, I think you've signed him. I swear Northampton have signed him. But if you have, he's a quality player and will do really well for you. Port Vale, I'm expecting to put last season's kind of disappointment behind them and hopefully kick on and move on. Some of the strikers that they've been signing look really good on paper. It's how you can fit those guys into the first team, the likes of Ricky Miller, etc. If you can get him firing on all cylinders and a couple of the others, then you should do quite well. I've got you finishing in the top half. Port Vale fans, would you be happy with that? Let me know down in the comments. Next three teams rather, Cambridge, Newport and Oldham. I'm referring to my notes, so bear with me. Cambridge, right. Hear me out with this one. Cambridge and the playoffs are like a bloke at a nightclub looking to get the girl, right? Hear me out. You go over to the girl, start flirting with her, maybe you buy her a drink. Things are going quite nicely. You think this could probably be your night. Your mates distract you. You turn your head and all of a sudden you're more interested in what's going on with your mates than what's going on with the girl next to you. Next thing you know, you turn back round, it's too late. She's already gone off down the bar at the other end. She's talking to somebody else. She's already got a date sorted out for later on. That is Cambridge in the playoffs. You'll be there, you'll be flirting, and everything will look alright, and then you'll just slowly fade away and you'll be back in mid-table again. That is Cambridge in a nutshell. I can't, you know, as I said, Cambridge fans, you might disagree with that. Let me know about some of your signings. Are you excited about the season? Let me know in the comments. Newport, I'm expecting them to have another good year. I like Flynn as the manager. He makes things work. There's often a case where managers just fit a club. There are just certain guys, like Paul Lambert at Norwich, who just fitted a club. It just made sense. And I'm expecting big things from him again. And I think you'll just about miss out on the playoffs. And Oldham as well, you know, a lot of problems last year trying to avoid relegation. Didn't quite happen. I think you'll be just missing out on the playoffs, which will be a big disappointment because I know you'd like to try and bounce back again. Oldham fans, what are your expectations for the season? Do you really have to be gunning for promotion? What are the finances like after, you know, if you don't go up? Let me know. I want to find out from you guys. Any fans from this particular region, let me know down in the comments. And here we have the top 7, the guys who are going to be looking forward to a playoff place, possible trip to Wembley, and for teams who are going to be going back up into League One and celebrating a promotion. Get the champagne on ice, guys, because it's coming your way. I've got Bury, Lincoln, Swindon and Colchester in the playoffs. Bury, this is the one prediction that haunts me from last year. I had Bury in League One playoffs and they ended up getting relegated, bottom of the table. I think it was bottom by a considerable distance. I'm expecting you guys to put things behind you now and move on and crack on within the brand new season. It's time for optimism again, Bury fans. You're gonna be in the playoffs. Lincoln, again, I think keeping a hold of the manager and his assistant is a great move. You've been making some really decent signings. There's an ex-Norwich lad as well that you've signed, and I cannot remember, name escapes me, but I've got a really good feeling about Lincoln. I think they're going to take one step further and get into the playoffs. Swindon, they seem to be making all the right moves. It's whether or not it can click. I think it will click, and I'm expecting you guys to get into the playoffs. Colchester, I had you guys going up as automatic promotion. You didn't really click, and I know why, and it's because of injuries. Injuries to key players at key moments in the season. You seem to have done quite well in pre-season, and you seem to have avoided some massive injuries. So I'm expecting big things this year. I really, really am expecting big things. If you can get to the playoffs, I would consider that a check. That's a check. That's American. Why am I talking like a Yank? That is a big, well done, and absolutely fantastic season. But Colchester fans, let me know whether or not you think that's a realistic possibility. Losing Sam Walker in goal is a big thing, but is that going to be too much of a, is that going to be too much of a negative thing? Let me know down in the comments. Top 3, MK Dons, Mansfield and Notts County. I don't really think this is too much of a surprise for a lot of people. MK Dons will go up because of one reason, that's Paul Tisdale. He knows the league and he's now got the resources that he wants to go and put a team together to go up. Look, no one likes MK Dons. They're a franchise team. They've suddenly done well. They've had their time in the Championship and come back down again. But I'm expecting them to bounce straight back up to League One and put the disappointment of last season behind them. Mansfield, with a new manager in charge who took over at the end of last season, couldn't quite make things happen in terms of getting them into the playoffs, but they've got pre-season behind them and I'm expecting them to do quite well. They have some very good players in that squad. I don't think we'll finish second. Notts County, easily for me, best team in this league. Should not only get promoted, should not only finish top, but you should absolutely walk this league. And that's no disrespect to everyone in League 2, but the resources, the manager, and what you have available as a club, there are no excuses for me. You've absolutely got to be walking this league. But what do you guys think? Let me know, as I said, down in the comment section below. You're probably going to absolutely crucify my predictions, and you are more than welcome to. I want comments. I will reply to every single one of them. Have I got my knowledge wrong? Do I know what I'm talking about? If I don't, and you're a fan of any of these particular teams, leave me your predictions. And like I said, I will reply to every single one of them. If you've enjoyed the video though, make sure you hit the like button. If you haven't, you can leave a dislike. I don't mind that. But let me know down in the comment section why I am wrong. And if you want to see more, make sure you hit the subscribe button because I've got League One, Championship and the Premier League on the way very soon. So thank you very much for taking the time to watch it. And until we see each other next time though, as always on the channel, adios.